Hey everyone, Nut Free Mama here. Today I'm going to show you how to make flag cake. Start off with our ingredients. First you need 2 boxes of white cake mix. We are going to tint one of those red and then half of the other box blue and leave the other half white. Then you're going to need some frosting. I'm not sure if I'm going to need all 4 of these or not. We'll see. Then to my blue cake, I'm also going to add these white sprinkles for the stars. You need 2 cake pans. I lined mine with wax paper and sprayed them. It's okay to use wax paper if you're lining a pan and putting it in the oven because the cake will absorb all of the heat and they won't burn. Or you could use parchment paper. It just makes it easier for them to come out of the oven. Then I have some more sprinkles over here on the table that I'm going to use for the top. And then I have my 1 box of cake mix that I already made per the box. It's the red. I used a whole tube of the red gel food coloring and I'm just letting those cool right now. Okay, my oven is at 350 and I'm going to get to work on my 2nd box of cake per back of the box. Okay, in my big bowl I have my white cake mix, 3 egg whites, 1 cup of water, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I'm just going to stir that on low for 30 seconds and then medium for 2 minutes. Alright, that white looks great. So now I'm going to pour half of it into my prepared pan and the other half I'm going to tint blue. Alright, that blue looks great to me, so I'm going to pour that into my other pan. Okay, I poured half of my blue batter in and then I just sprinkled stars around the outer edge because the inner edge we are going to cut out. So you will need like a 4 or 5 inch circle cutter. So I'm going to go ahead and I just added the rest of my batter and then I put the stars on, but I am going to kind of push those down in because I'm not sure how they're going to bake. And then we are going to bake these at 350 for 23 to 28 minutes. Alright, that looks good to me. Taste Tester and I did sit there and pull all of those white sprinkles out of the red, white, and blue sprinkles, so I really hope this works. So let's get these cakes into the oven. Okay, all of my cakes are out of the oven and they've been cooling for about an hour and a half. So I'm going to wrap them in plastic wrap and then wrap them in foil and stick them in the freezer. You really want them to be in the freezer 2 to 3 hours or ideally overnight. Okay, my cakes have been in the freezer all night, so now I just unwrapped one of my bread cakes. I'm just going to do these one at a time. I'm going to cut the top of it off so it's nice and flat, and then I am going to cut this in half lengthwise using this large serrated knife. So wish me luck. Okay, my red cake is in 2 pieces now, so wherever you're going to serve this, so I have this blue lid over here, I put a little frosting down. That's just going to act as glue to keep my bottom layer. I actually may put a little more on there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first layer on there and then go ahead and pipe out. I put my white frosting over here in a ziplock bag. I'm going to cut the tip off and pipe out a generous amount on there. Alright, there's my first layer of red. So next I am going to do my white layer. So again, I am going to cut that in half. And I washed my knife off, so you might want to do that too. Alright, so my second white layer, or my first white layer is on top of my red, and I have this layer, and I did kind of break it, but it's okay because we're only going to be using the center of this white. So just take anything that you have. I'm going to use this large bowl, and you want to just put it right in the middle, and then press down and cut out that circle perfectly. Alright, here's my white circle. I just went ahead and sat that to the side, and now let's go ahead and add our frosting to our white layer. Alright, that looks great, so let's go ahead and add on our next red layer. Alright, that's looking really good, so let's go ahead and add our frosting. Alright, that looks great, so it is time for our blue cake to make its debut. I cut the top off, and now I'm going to use that same cutter, that same circle bowl. This time I'm just going to stick it on top of here though, make sure it's even, and then I'm going to just use a paring knife to cut all the way around because you really want that to stay together well. Alright, there is what your blue layer should look like. And as you can see, I did not cut that one in half. You want that one to be whole, so you can just use these scraps for whatever. I'm just putting mine in a bowl, and I'm sure we'll eat them. So next we are going to go ahead and put frosting all on the sides and up top on the blue cake. Well, actually not on the top, just you want to put it all along the side because we're going to put our white and our red inside there. Alright, that looks pretty good. If you want to brush off your crumbs before you do each layer, it will help so they don't stick into your frosting like that. So next we're going to put our white down in there. And then we're going to put frosting on top of that and then cut our last red. All right, for our last red, we are just going to do the same thing that we did for the white. So we're just going to be cutting out the circle and we're going to use the center. So if you just want to go ahead and use a paring knife, just make sure it doesn't really have to be in the center, truthfully, but go ahead and cut that, and then we're going to cut it in half. Okay, this is what your cake should look like at this point. So next we are just going to go ahead and put a crumb coating, which is just a really thin layer of icing all over the entire cake, and then we're going to put it in the freezer so it can set up a little for probably 15 minutes. All right, my cake is all crumb coated. Like I said, it's just a light layer, and you can hide any imperfections with that. And now, like I said, it's going to go in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes just so it can harden. So when we decorate it, it doesn't fall apart. Okay, I just put on my second layer of frosting. And now you can have fun with it. If you want to pipe on some red, white, and blue stars, or you want to just pipe in some flowers. But I'm going to decorate mine with sprinkles because I have a lot of them. So stay tuned. All right, my cake is finished. I just threw some little star sprinkles all around. Put some red, white, and blue sprinkles on the top. And now for the moment of truth, we're going to cut into it. All right, I just cut into it, and it is very cute. Here's one of the pieces. Here's the other piece. I'm really happy with it. I don't really see any of my stars on the inside, so I'm not sure if they melted or not, but it's really cute. Happy Flag Day and happy 4th of July. We'll see what Taste Tester thinks. All right, Taste Tester, have a little taste.
Okay. Yum. Yum.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, come back and see us again. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Happy Flag Day and happy 4th of July. Bye.
Bye.